Hey Clashers, Supercell just announced that there will be balance changes for the equipment in the February update. And this leaves the question, what are actually the best strategies to play after those balance changes? We are going to take a look at the top 5 strategies after those balance changes. Important disclaimer though, every strategy not listed in this video can still get 3 stars if you execute it properly. On the other side though, the top 5 list in this video are the strongest strategies and at the same time the easiest strategies to execute. As well, one strategy dropping out of the top 5, which is the Fireball and Rocket Loons. Really strong, but not as easy to execute, and other strategies are just way easier. And this gives us the possibility to talk about the number 5 strategy. For this one, it is Titans with a Royal Champion charge. And that's pretty much already it. For this one, we are running the equipment, which means Hot Rider Puppet and the Electro Boots on the Royal Champ. And for the Archer Queen, that's something which is going to be the same across the entire video for all strategies. You will always run the Healer Puppet, and then depending if it's Clan War or Legend, it's going to be the Magic Mirror or the Giant Arrow. In Legend, you want to bring the Giant Arrow because you always have the possibility of running into Invisibility Tower bases. Having that equipment pretty much gives you a guaranteed 3-star versus those type of bases. In Clan War, if you're facing a non-Invisibility Tower base, you can use the Magic Mirror to give you even more power. Gaku doesn't like to switch his equipment, that's why he's just staying with the Giant Arrow, which just can create pathing as well. For this one, you are having the Titans going into the core with the King together. No equipment change there really, because the boots are opening everything, and the Spiky Ball does some nice damage. On the other side, you are not combining the Royal Champion with the aura of the Titans. And this means you're having her on the outside. This is why she needs some protection, and that's why he's bringing the Hog Rider Puppet. As well, I know that's another strategy which supposed on feedback of the community is dead, but no, it is still one of the strongest equipments in the game, exactly as I said back then. Well, I guess at some point hopefully people are listening. Because we are continuing, because that is just the first strategy on our top 5 list. The next one is going to be Mass Root Riders. Again, you can deploy this and play this as well with the Royal Champion charge, but you don't even have to. For this one, we're just using the Royal Champion with the Root Riders to get as much value, and to set up the Root Riders, we're going to use the King, Queen and Siege Barracks to push them into the right direction. For this one, on the King, you can use for the old version, which is the Spiky Ball Earthquake, but you can go as well for the Gauntlet with the Rage Gem. The important thing here is that you want to take down one corner of the base to create the pathing for the Root Riders. The Queen is going to then funnel away from the King into the Root Riders, where the Siege Barracks is clearing out the other side. And then you're turning the entire base into like a ring base. The reason why you're doing that is because the pathing with this is just way better. And for that, you're using the Overgrowth spell, because the King can only clear one compartment. And that's then it. For this one, you really want to make sure then to make this pathing even bigger with the Overgrowth and keep everything on the same spot, so your healers will just keep everything alive. You can use non-stop Overgrowth spells, and as soon as the last one is running out, you can overpower the core, which you have kept invisible for the entire attack. And that's how you can really easily crush bases with this number 4 strategy. And for this one, we are getting into the top 3. The top 3 position is still the Dragons. That's right, Dragons and mass invisibility spells are still one of the top strategies in the game. You can do small adjustments if you want to, like bring a couple of less invisibility spells, maybe a revive spell and such things. That is no problem, and it's completely up to you and your personal preference of actually playing that strategy. Overall, it's the same approach though as before the nerf. You don't feel the nerf as much. The nerf is just really little. Let's put it that way. That's why you don't see as many changes within the ranking, because the Electro Boots were just so broken that the nerf is pretty much not really, like, you don't really feel it as much. This is, well, not giving any change to the top strategies pretty much. With the Dragons though, the important thing and why they dropped a little bit in the rankings is that top players were able to really figure out how to more consistently bait them, and as well sometimes you have some problems with like black mines or entry points where this strategy can struggle a little bit. This is mostly on the highest level and versus the best bases, but the middle legends and such, this strategy is still wrecking bases left and right because people have no clue how to defend it. That's why Dragons are, in my opinion, still easily in the top 3 of the current strategies, even after those nerfs. The next thing though is that with the Minion Prince, it feels now the Minion Prince can be a little bit stronger than the king with the Earthquake Boot. But at the same time, the Earthquake Boots with the Spiky Ball composition to replace the Minion Prince is totally fine as well, and it's completely up to you and your preference. Some people like to bring those heroes before they actually start with the dragons, and for that, the king is just way better. So it's in the end really up to you how you play the dragons. This specific 16 dragon army is just here as a overall, how do you say, like, it is just representing the entire dragon attack options which you have with adding the Royal Champion Charge. And with that, we are getting into the number 2 position. And that is actually the first strategy without the Royal Champion Charge, or, okay, Master Root Riders were without them as well, but this one is just the Super Witches with the Fireball. You can as well bring the Throwers, but that one is just way harder to use, why I feel like it's not really fair to put them in here. That's why it is the position of the Super Witches with the Fireball. The synergy is just unmatched, it's incredible good, and the nice thing is you have many options to use your equipments. Earthquake Boots is one of the most important things. It's not there for damage, it's there to open up the compartments for your Super Witches, and you can combine it with pretty much anything. The Gauntlet is my personal favorite, but you can use the Spiky Ball as well, or even things like the Vamp Stash. It is all about opening up the compartment, and this is what the game changer is. The reason why the Fireball is synergizing so well with the Super Witches is because you don't have the Eternal Tome anymore, and the Super Witches are generating their own hit points with the Giant Skeletons. And with that, you can overpower pretty much every single base out there. Sometimes you need to be a little bit creative with the, well, invisibility spells and then the Fireball direction. But if you can like learn that and pull that off, this strategy is going to rank every single base out there. And as soon as you're getting into how the Fireball actually works, it's not even that hard to do in most cases. And that's why, in my opinion, this is the number 2 strategy. The number 1 strategy is actually my Minion Prince with the Root Rider strategy. As well, you can replace the Minion Prince with the Barbarian King, but especially after the Earthquake Boot nerf, you can play the Minion Prince even better. The thinking here is that if you're using the Barbarian King, use the Healing Tome because you need to protect your healers. The Minion Prince in this army composition is here to tank Black Mines, Red Mines, and everything. And it might be surprising to you, because the first time when I played this strategy, I thought, okay, it's just my Minion Prince is going to die early on. But in the beginning, you have Test Loons, and after that, the Minion Prince is just not going down. And it's such a massive improvement having a Minion Prince with his high damage in the core, and he can just ignore walls. That is just crazy strong and so good because your healers will never die. And with that, your Root Riders won't die either. This is why it's after the balance changes, or even possibly already before the balance changes, the number 1 strategy in the entire game. Go for a corner with a Royal Champion Charge, early invisibility, and obviously as well the early Royal Champion ability to make sure that you're having the haste effect going. And the bases are just gone. Queen on the outside to funnel, then you can use the Minion Prince or the King with the rest in the middle of the base. But again, like, the Earthquake Boots opening the compartments is not as big of a game changer because the Root Riders are doing that anyways, so you don't really need that. And this is, well, my top 5 list. I hope that people are not going too crazy with the balance changes, because with the Hot Rider Puppet example, you can tell already people are always freaking out as soon as something on paper looks dead, when in fact it is not even close to being gone. The Electro Boots, the nerf is a pretty bad joke, to be honest, to me, because it doesn't really change pretty much anything. The best strategies are still using that equipment, are still using that exact strategy. And well, I hope that you will have fun with that strategy as well still. Until then, I hope that you enjoyed that video and that it was helpful for you, and maybe as well take a bit of fear away if you thought that you have wasted your ores, because trust me, you did not waste your ores whatsoever if you had invested into the Earthquake Boots or into the Electro Boots. They're still completely viable and incredibly strong still after. Otherwise, that's it for the video. Thank you so much for watching. I wish you guys back tomorrow with the next class video. Until then, see ya and bye bye.